I didn't mention in my previously recorded video about the Game Master's book of astonishing random tables that I was drinking a little bit of compelling gin from Dogfish Head. My wife and I, a few days back, got back from Rehoboth Beach, Delaware. We did stop at the brewery distillery out in, I don't know, is it Milton, Millburg, something like that. But we didn't buy any more because I guess I haven't been drinking enough because we still had this bottle and another full bottle that we bought 2 years ago, something like that. So we didn't buy any more. We have plenty, and I'm just not drinking that much. So I did decide for recording these videos that I would have a little ginger ale and gin. So what am I looking at? Dungeons and Drawings, an illustrated compendium of creatures by Blanca Martinez de Rituerto. My Spanish is terrible. I'm sorry. And Joe Sparrow. Yeah, my Spanish is terrible. It's too bad because I actually really like Spanish and want to get better at it, but it is awful. A tome of baffling beasts, ferocious fiends, and magnificent monsters. From the lowest kobold to the mightiest dragon, monsters are a compelling part of many a fantasy world. Man, I'm really struggling today. In Dungeons and Drawings, artists and storytellers, their names I'm not going to go through again and make even more of a fool of myself, have compiled and curated their own illustrated bestiary of over 120 fantastical creatures, each rendered in a distinctive and imaginative style and accompanied by easy-to-understand statistics and detailed folkloric background information. This cavalcade of creatures is the perfect resource for any aficionado of the monstrous. Whether you're getting ready to GM a new tabletop role-playing game, world building for a fantasy novel, or just like to look at cool drawings, well, I like to look at cool drawings, among other things. And I saw this, and then I was shocked at how inexpensively I was able to acquire it. Now, I think the list price, which I think is very fair for a book of this size in hardcover, is $19.99 US dollars. I got it for substantially less even than that. So I could not complain about the price. Let's see. We have an introduction. This is from 2018. Okay. So there's a key. They have done alignments as well as sort of an elemental alignment types. We have beasts, constructs, humanoids, undead, plants, outsiders, and fairy. So this would be... Oh, and stats. We have, it looks like, basically 1 to 5, I'm assuming, being how strong one is in a certain stat. So for this one, we have a beast with a water, it's kind of obvious, with a water affiliation, and it is evil. Looks like moderate combat, moderate danger, low magic, very low smarts, and low loot. And this is in... Nope, not going to say it. But look at that. It's really cool. I'm not going to show off every creature, but I'm going to show off a couple. A Baku. We have moderate combat, magic, and loot. Low on the danger, and low on the smarts. There's an adventure tip. Overhunting of Baku means that they're now reluctant to come near adult sleepers. They would rather safely feed on the dreams of children. Oh, sweet. So it's some kind of dream feeder. Oh, that is gross. Even in the cartoony art, that was disgusting. So let's see. Bomb plant. Nice. Let's see if we find something that's like very dangerous here. Oh, this has a ribbon. Nice. I didn't even realize it had a ribbon. Let's see. There we go. This is something, a doppelganger. Ugh, creepy. And that's high on the danger. Evil aligned with, is that the void? I think that's the void. And it's humanoid. Yes, and aligned with the void. Let's see. Oh, that was an evil dragon. And that is all kinds of nasty. So, you can convert these to whatever your, like the ghost is like really creepy. That's cool. You can convert these to whatever your chosen game is. I like the art. You can, show off the art. One of the things that I have talked about doing, and I am kind of like figuring out the logistics of, is sort of making a handout bestiary for players where I find some of this more interesting art and like quotes. I was looking at the Dragonbane bestiary, and it has little quotes in it. And I was thinking about just handing those out to people as like rumors of things that they pick up while they're in town. It's like, oh, here's this quote I heard about this creature. And they can store that however they wish. But then having like somebody's, you have a drawing like this with that information, then you have maybe some of this information restated as in-world stuff. And you get 10 or 12 pictures of maybe in different styles, and then, print them out with a little bit of information alongside them. And either stitch them together or staple them together if you need to, but put them together as a handout for the players so that they can have like a little in-world artifact of something somebody's put together, a little their own personal little legendarium, and their little bits of here's some inspiration, including like Ishiro Honda's Godzilla and all sorts of things. The Body Snatchers, nice. But anyway, is there sort of in-world guide to monsters that they can then add their own material to, which I think is important. I really would love my players to be able to add and create their own thing and add their own notes. So if they face a monster, what they thought about it versus what the original writer of the companion thought about it. And in the way that a lot of like medieval bestiaries were written, they are hearsay, third time removed, and the drawings are done by people who have never seen this creature. They've only heard it described, and they've heard it described like a game of telephone, so that you have a picture of a rhinoceros, and it's the most ridiculous looking thing. Or well, anyway, so many of those sort of things. And so the book, the handout that my players might have that has this art, maybe this is the artist's rendition of something based on what they heard, but that doesn't mean it's what it actually looks like, and so, or that the information associated with it is correct. And so they could have cave spirit, so they could have a very a different encounter than they might expect with that critter, and then write those notes, their own notes and their own interactions and their own thoughts on the creature, maybe even drawing a different illustration to be more accurate to their experience. And then in a perfect world, that artifact would then exist for another group of players to find, where not only is it the thing that I've created as an in-world thing, but it has the gamer's notes and drawings and extra parts on it. And then it passes on to another group and they can add their own things to it. I think that would be just swell. Can I make it happen? Well, that's a whole other story. I don't think so, but we'll give it the old college try. Until next time, yay, bargain hunting. Bargain hunting is groovy. Go out and find some bargains, and or don't save your money. I don't know. the world's falling apart. Who knows what's going to happen next? So, anyway, until next time, take care.